thing. It ties us together.
Greetings and welcome to the Nerd College, where we introduce our viewers to outstanding films, shows, and anime without giving away the whole story, which creates a unique challenge in regard to how we approach our topic today. Stranger Things has become a massive global phenomenon since its debut in 2016, and with its final season on the horizon, millions of fans are gearing up to return to Hawkins once again. Instead of just another plot summary, this video has been crafted specifically to refresh and hype up those longtime fans without spoiling everything for you curious newcomers here to find out if Stranger Things might just be your next nerdy obsession. So sit back, relax, prepare to be dazzled with details, and stay tuned until the end of the video for all the info on Season 5's 3-part holiday release schedule. Before we get into how the show gained such widespread acclaim, I'm going to attempt to summarize the series as best I can, while giving away as little as possible. Set in the 1980s in the fictional small town of Hawkins, Indiana, Stranger Things centers on a group of friends and their struggles against hostile, supernatural entities that seek to invade their world. The plot kicks off when one of the boys vanishes under bizarre circumstances after a game of Dungeons & Dragons, and his friends, his mother, and the local police chief all embark on separate investigations. These eventually point to a research facility on the edge of town which they discover has secretly been conducting paranormal experiments. The boys also encounter and befriend an unusual young girl with psychokinetic powers who recently escaped from the same facility. One of their older sisters and her friends become involved as well when yet another student mysteriously disappears, and together the group attempts to unravel the mystery while being pursued by monsters from another dimension. As the show went on, the threats originating from that world, referred to by the characters as the Upside Down, continued to grow bolder and more dangerous even as new members of the cast stepped in to solve pieces of the overall puzzle. This is all culminated in the events of the most recent season, which set the stage for an epic final confrontation that will determine the fate of Hawkins once and for all. Now that we've covered what the show is about, let's discuss why it works so well. The idea that became Stranger Things was initially conceived by Matt and Ross Duffer after they saw the 2013 film Prisoners, which tells the story of a desperate father and his attempts to solve the disappearance of his daughter and her friend. They envisioned a version of the story in which the abduction involved a literal monster, which allowed them to incorporate elements from the 80s sci-fi and horror that had always fascinated and inspired them. From those same genres, they also incorporated the element of the shady government-backed organization, which grounded the narrative with scientific rather than spiritual explanations to the supernatural events. Famously pitched as What If Steven Spielberg Directed a Stephen King Story, the show eventually found its ideal home on Netflix after being rejected by more at the time traditional networks, and became a cultural phenomenon in short order.
You have to pay for those! Stop right there! Thief! Thief!
It wasn't that Stranger Things single-handedly kicked off an explosion of 80s nostalgia, but more that it capitalized on and amplified an already existing trend, and did so better than anyone else at the time of its release. In fact, the show's meticulous attention to detail in its set design, costumes, and score were major factors in its success. Its mysterious synthwave theme perfectly captured the show's tone, and its overall look was different and refreshing to younger viewers while instantly engaging to older members of the audience who grew up around the time the story is set. Of course, the show wouldn't be anything without the amazing and believable performances from both the young and adult members of its cast. In particular, Winona Ryder's involvement helped get the project off the ground in the first place, and not only would her emotional and relatable portrayal help anchor the story, but the Duffer Brothers often relied on her encyclopedic knowledge of 80s pop culture to ensure the accuracy of elements like song release dates and fashion trends.
Use only your mind. Place the order now.
Order up for Dustin.
I don't have any money.
The phenomenal success of Stranger Things ignited a broader trend of 1980s nostalgia throughout the rest of the industry as well, inspiring new arrivals and original properties that sought to tap into that retro appeal. This included legacy sequels and reboots such as Ghostbusters Afterlife, which continued the original film's story while introducing the franchise to a new generation. The success was not limited to film, with series like Cobra Kai finding a home on streaming services by reviving the story of the Karate Kid decades later for a new audience. Even original shows like American Horror Story subtitled their 9th season 1984 explicitly to use the decade's slasher films as a backdrop. The revival of interest extended beyond simple remakes, with many productions emulating the decade's style through a reliance on synth soundtracks, vintage fashion, and an overall aesthetic that had become iconic once more. The series also launched a massive range of merchandise, from Funko Pop figurines and retro apparel to Demogorgon popcorn buckets, along with countless brand partnerships for products like Baskin-Robbins ice cream, Coca-Cola's new Coke, and Nike footwear. Beyond physical products, the universe is expanded through multiple video games, books, comics, pop-up stores, and an Oliver Award-winning prequel stage play titled Stranger Things: The First Shadow, which has run in both London's West End and on Broadway.
Stars shining bright above you. Welcome to Hawkins. Patty Newby.
Henry Creel.
With animated and live-action spin-off series also in development, Netflix has cemented Stranger Things as a sprawling multimedia franchise with plans to continue to expand long after the flagship series concludes, which it's set to do in 3 parts, with the first 4 episodes releasing November 26th, the next 3 on December 25th, and finally, the series finale will take place on December 31st. Here at the Nerd College, we can't wait to see what the future will bring for this franchise, and rest assured if you're interested, we'll certainly cover the future adaptations as well. Thank you for watching, and let us know in the comments below what you'd like to see covered by our channel. Now, off to your next class.
Maybe some things just can't go back to the way they were. That doesn't make sense. Maybe some things just can't. Maybe some things just can't go back to. What the f*** is going on?